Assalamu alaikum dear viewer, it's me Raki. In this video I'm gonna share that how you can make a YouTube thumbnail downloader. So that's the tool in here, as you can see that. So I just made that without doing any kind of code, and also I just did that for free, and I just used AI tools. So basically I just used make.com for the backend, and for the front end to make this tool I used Loveable, and that's all it is. So let me show that how this thumbnail downloader really works like, so like you can understand that it's not a scam. So I have to just go in the YouTube, and I'm just going with any video. So I'm just going with this video. Let me just stop that video. So I'm just copying the thing of the video. So I'm just again just going to my tool in here, and then I'll just paste the YouTube video URL. Then I'll just go to get thumbnails, and as you can see it, like it's fetching the thumbnails and it's showing all of the thumbnails in here, and like from maximum quality to the default quality, just showing all of the qualities of the thumbnails. And if I just go in the download, I can able to download that for free and very easy way. So at the first you have to come to make.com. so that's the scenario of the make.com. If you don't know about make.com, that's a automation platform. You can use that to automate several kind of tasks without knowing any kind of code. So as you can see that, like that's the scenario it's really looks like. So in here we'll just go with the plus icon, and we have to just add a webhook in here. So that's a node or kind of like a module in here. So just search here webhook, that's it. And in the webhook section we just go to the first one, we just call the custom webhook, and that's it, like, which is very simple. And in here we have to actually set up the webhook, which is again very simple. So you can actually just go with this option, and in here you can see like I had created tons of webhooks, and in your case maybe you didn't work with any webhooks. So in here you have to just go with the add option. It's mean you have to just go with the new one. So yeah, that's the thing. You have to just set up a new name, and you can just go with the default, but in my case I'm just going with kind of like WBYT test. Yeah, so that's like it's a symbol, so like I can understand that for the project like which webhook I'm just using. And for the IP restriction, it doesn't really matters in here, so I'm just going with the save. And as you can see that like the webhook has been created, so I'm just going with the save, that's it. And as you can see that like the first module has been created successfully, so we have to just add another module, and the next module is actually the HTTP module. Again, I mean going in the search bar and search here HTTP, and in the HTTP section you can just see bunch of modules. So I'm just going with the show more, so that like you're gonna see that like there are like lots of modules in here and under the HTTP section. So but we actually just going with the make a request, this module section. So I'm just choosing this, and in here we have to just set up the module how it really looks like, kind of like this. You can actually just give a URL and the method. There are like bunch of methods like post method, these kind of things. And in the header section we actually can add a header if we need, and also parameters. And also we can actually just make the body type, like how the body type will be raw or this application, or kind of like multiple from data, kind of this thing. So for this thing we actually just set up the API in here. So how you can actually do that? For that we actually just use a API from Rapid API. So this thing actually get the thumbnail of the video, and that's the work of that API really is. And that API actually significantly only just work for that thing, that's it. So we actually just go in the Rapid API section. So the Rapid API, it's if you don't know about that, it's a kind of like API store. So you can actually use bunch of APIs from here. There are really good kind of APIs from here. Actually you can just use that like premium. Again, they are like fully free APIs. You can actually find that. So in your case you have to sign up if you're new in here, otherwise you have to just go with the sign in if you already used it here, that's it. So that's the Rapid API home really looks like. There are like bunch of APIs in here, but we actually just use the YouTube thumbnail downloader, kind of this thing. So you have to just go in the search bar and search here like YouTube thumbnail. Okay, so if you just like write this YouTube thumbnail, you can see bunch of results on the name of YouTube thumbnail. So you can see that like properly. So they're like kind of like 50 APIs on based on YouTube thumbnails. But we actually just don't need these kind of things. I'll just go in the enter section, so like I can see all the results, and I can find out like which I really want. And if I just drag down a little bit, I can actually just find that the thing YouTube thumbnail downloader, and that's actually made by Salman Ansari, and that's a kind of like an entertainment site. So the things like I worked with that, and I find that very easy to work with, and also kind of like just go with my project. So that's why I just choose that. In your case, you can just go with any API from here. So just do the things like I'm doing with this API specifically. So I'm just going with this API, and the things like all the things are same for all the APIs. Yeah. So as you can see, like that's how the API really looks like. In this case, like it says the test endpoint, but if you use another API, it will say like subscribe. You have to just subscribe that. And by the way, like this API, I guess it's not fully free, so it's mean like I can use that API kind of like 100 times per month, or in some cases like 1000 times per month. So as it's not given a subscription button, so that's why I'm not properly don't understand that like how the API like plan really works in this only for this API. So on the other APIs, like it is said to the the user that like how much time you can just get to use that API, kind of this thing. So let me show you that how can I understand that this API works or not. So we have to just go in the parameter section. So in the parameter section, you can see like there's a URL. So in the URL, actually you have to just give a URL of any YouTube video. That's it. And as you can see, like how the YouTube video URL will be, and also you have to just give the URL in this format. And if I just go in the test endpoint, based on that it will just give me the results, and we are in the results section. And as you can see, like this API is working. And if you use another API, and if it shows like error or shows like kind of a empty thing, so you can understand like that API is not a working API. So that like you can understand like which API is working and which API is not working properly. So yeah, that's the thing. And as you can see, like it's I'm just showing in the JSON format. So yeah, that's it. So we have to just go in the code snippet section, this one, and this will just all the thing will actually just work from here. That's it. And at the first you can see like the request format, which is like get format. So we can actually just go in the make.com, and as you can see that the method of the request is get format. So then we actually just go with the URL section, and in the URL you can actually just see that this thing, and we actually just copy this thing, and make sure you're not copying the single quotations as like you can see it like these are the things. So only have to just copy the URL. That's it. So I'm just putting this in here, and that's it, paste. Yeah, that's all done. And I'm just going down, and we have to enable the headers because as you can see, like there are like two headers. One header is here and second header is here. So we have to just go and enable the header. So I'll just go with add a header, and the first header will be the header name, which is called X repeated by host. Again, I'm copying this thing, and in here I'll just put the name in here. That's it, copy and paste. And then the value will be what is under the X repeated by host. It's this thing. Yeah, again I'm not copying the quotation in here. That's it. Make sure what like you are actually just doing what I'm just doing properly if you don't know about much how it really works. And again we have to just add another header, which I'll just go with a header. And again I'm just giving the second name, which is X repeat API key. Yep, that's it, copy. Okay, then paste in here. Again the value will be what is inside the X repeat API key, and that's the key, or the you can say the API key of this repeat API. And this key will be similar for all the API, like whichever API you will use in under the repeat API, this API key will be the same. And by that they can actually just track you that how you working with the APIs and kind of this thing. The next thing actually we'll just go with the parameters, because we have to add a parameter. And if I have to just show you that how what the parameter will be, and in the parameter section in your case maybe it will just show you the app section, and we have to just enable the parameters. And if you just go in the parameter section, you can just see that like there's a URL name as parameters, and it shows like optional, but it's mandatory for our case, because the URL will actually just contain the YouTube video URL. So without taking the YouTube video URL, it can't actually give you the thumbnail. So obviously we have to just give a URL. So I'll just copy the URL name. That's it. So kind of like that's the URL, and the value will be, in this case you can actually just give this URL if you want to just check this. And in my case, like I'm not giving nothing, because I'm just taking this as empty, because like I'll just put the value later a little bit after just checking everything. And the body type, I'm just setting this as it is, like I'm not giving anything kind of like raw or just anything. I'm just set this as empty. That's it. And that's after that, like click on the save. That's it. And as you can see, like that first two module has been set up properly. Now we actually just add the third module, which will be the webhook response, which is very easy. Just go with the webhooks, and you can see that this one you can actually just set up only this, because that's the last module for that. So that okay, I'm just going with the webhook response. So this will actually take the data, so that like in the body section I'm just putting the data, that's it. And in the status I'm just as default I'm just going with 200. We don't have to just touch that because it doesn't really matter in here. So I'm just going with save, that's it. So that's how the really look like, and that's actually kind of like, you can say, a back end of the website or a back end of a tool. So right now we have to just create the front end, so that we are using Loveable. And if you don't have a Loveable, that's actually a new tool, and it can actually just make any kind of tool only from your prompt. So you only have to just give, oh, I wanna just make this kind of tool. So after that you will just create that tool in under like 5 minutes, kind of this thing. So in our case I have to just a little bit explain what kind of tool I just want to make, and based on my prompt it will just create the tool, or just kind of like, in our case we are just making a YouTube thumbnail downloader, so that like it will just create that for us. So in have to give the prompt, so the prompt will be like this. So I will just say that create a YouTube thumbnail downloader, the tool, yep, named as. So in here I'm just giving the name of our YouTube thumbnail downloader. I'm just going with very simple YT thumbs downloader, that's it. And then I'll just little bit describe like how the YouTube thumbnail looks like and how it will work, kind of this thing. So then I'll say the user will only give the YouTube video URL and can be able to download the thumbnail of that video for free, kind of like this. And then I'll just say that like send a URL to this webhook, and then I'm just giving the webhook here. So this actually is just important, like how we actually just make the make.com and all the things. So in here you have to just go with the first module, which is the webhooks, and that's the thing. And in here you can actually find this, actually the webhook address. So what I'll just do, I'll just copy this thing. I have to just click copy address to clipboard, that's it, it's already copied. So I'll just go with Loveable again, and then I'll just paste that. So what happened, like when user will send the URL to this tool, like the URL actually send it to this here, and then it will just start working, kind of this thing. So and then again I will say that like wait for the webhook response and until show the user a loading tab animation, kind of this. I'm just going with this one again in here. Then I'll just give a format that how the response will really look like, otherwise it can't understand that like how it have to just make the codes and make the tool, kind of this thing. So in here in the prompt I'll just give a response format, so that like you can understand properly how it really look like. So I'll just say that the response of the webhook will be like this format, and then I'll just give the response. So the response will be the result of our API. So in here you have to just cam the kind of like the API again, and you have to just go in the results section. In the results section you can have to see the format, and you can just go with JSON, text, anything. So I'll just prefer to use the JSON. Then you have to just copy all the things like this, just copy the thing, yeah, and then come to Loveable and paste the thing, that's it. You don't have to just do anything. So as you can see, like what I really did here, I just said at the first that create a YouTube thumbnail downloader, like I just said like what kind of tool I want to just make. Then I just a little bit describe what will it contain. Also in here you can just give lots of informations, kind of like what kind of color you want, what kind of things you want, like at the last or just at the sidebars, like do you want to just make that as like a free for everyone, or just add a subscription, anything. You can just go with lots of informations. Like again you can just add a newsletter, so like people can subscribe for that newsletter, kind of these things, which is very easy to do. So it's all the things like I'm just trying to just making in a simple way, so like you can understand that like how it really looks like, and how you have to just make new tools by using Loveable. So and then I'm giving the webhook like of our make.com webhook, and then I'm just saying that like you have to just wait for the webhook response, and so like it's sending the URL to the webhook and then it just finish. No, you have to just wait, and in the time just show a loading type animation to the user, and then also I say that like the response of the webhook like will be this format, so like you can understand that what kind of thing it will just work with. And then I'll just go with the send, and in here I'm just going with the public because I'm using this Lovable for free, and you can actually just use that for 5 times a day. It's mean like you can just use that as like it says you can use that 30 times per every month if you're using that for free. It's mean like I can just send my prompt for 5 times a day, and that's it. It is like it's the premium version. So as you can see, like it's working, and it's just working, and it says like I'm going and create. It just saying you that what kind of things it's working. And if you just go in this thing which is called the code viewer, you can actually just able to see the codes in here. So it's actually just working on the codes, so that as you can see, that's all the codes it's actually just made, from the HTML to CSS, all of the things that it's really needed. And also, as you can see, the JSON codes and node.js, everything just working on it's by itself, and again, if it shows any kind of like false, or like any kind of you wanna just change anything, or you are just notice any kind of problem in the tool, you can actually you can just go in the chat option like this, and you can just say that like this thing it's not working, or like this tool actually just showing this thing, then it will just start working again, which is super cool. So as I said, like it will just take under 5 minutes, so we have to just wait kind of like 2 to 3 minutes, and then it will just all done. And again, it says like kind of like edited 8 files, and it says I have created the YouTube thumbnail downloader, kind of this thing. And like it's already created, so it just says kind of like enter YouTube URL or kind of this thing to download thumbnails, this one. And again, it just shows a kind of a copyright. You can actually just remove that by saying like I don't need this, I want this, kind of this thing, edit that. So so in here I have to just give the YouTube video URL, that's all it is. So I can just, if I just go with this option, so I can actually just see that how it really looks like in a new like website, or as like a really tool. So that's the thing. So in here we have to just give a YouTube video URL, so I'm just going to YouTube directly. So from here I'll just choose one video, that's all it is. Okay, I'm just going with this one, so it's kind of like loading. So what I'll just do, I'll come here and I'll just copy the thing. Okay, so I just copied the video, and then I'll just come here. That's the tool obviously in here, but before that we have to activate the webhook. So I'll just go and just say that like run this module only. I'm not going with run once, because in here in the HTTP section, actually our YouTube URL section, which is this one, actually obviously right now blank, so we have to see that like is it works or not at the first. So I'm just going with the first thing, which is the webhook. So I'm just going with the run this module only, so that like this module only work, the rest of the module will not work. So that's the thing. So as you can see, it started to work and it's listening right now. So like what I'll just do, I'll just give the video URL in here, and I'll just go with get thumbnails, and as you can see, just saying fetching thumbnails or like loading this thing. And as you can see, that's the YouTube video URL it just grabbed, which is super good. It's worked properly like in a first attempt, and that's super good though. So what I'll do, and again I'm just came here, which is the YouTube HTTP request for our YouTube thumbnail downloader. So in the value section I'll just put the YouTube URL. So that's why I actually didn't run the whole automation, kind of this thing. So I'll just go again and just save that. So right now it's all done. So what I will do right now is I'll just go to run once. So as you can see that like it's kind of like activated, so our automation is now active. So what I'll just do, I'll just come here, again I'll just give the same YouTube URL, and then I'll just go with the get thumbnails, and as you can see it's working. And alhamdulillah, it just worked, and it just shows all the thumbnails, kind of like as you can see the maximum thumbnail, which is like 1280 into like 720 pixel and standard quality, kind of this thing, and also showing the default thumbnail, kind of this. So if I just go in the download, like I can actually able to download here in here directly. So that's super good though. And the thing is like, as you notice that I have to just come here, and again I have to just run once for another thing, like for another workflow. So in here we actually just I'm just stopping this, and I'll just save that, and I'll just come here and I'll just activate directly so that I don't have to activate that every time. So as you can see that this option, it is right now it's showing as on. It's mean the automation is on right now. If you're using the make.com for free, let me say that you can actually able to activate your automations, kind of like 2 automations for every account if you're using that for free. And if you want to activate more automations, so that you have to just go with the freemium option. That's the thing. So yeah, and like this you can actually just make that on and off kind of this thing. So as you can see, our automation is active right now. We don't have to just come here again and again, then you have to just activate the automation. So if I just stop that, it will just work kind of this thing, because our automation is active right now. So yeah, again I'll just go with in here, and I'm just going with a new thumbnail or just new video kind of this thing. I'll just go with this one. So yeah, and then I have to just come here, then again I'm just copying. So let me say a little bit why I'm just copying directly from here and why I'm not just copying directly from here, because our API, it's actually have to be watch in here. So that's why we have to just the copied URL will be in watching format, so that it's not actually a direct video URL. So that have to be clicked, and then that have to be a URL in that format. I guess you understand that. But in the other APIs, those are not working in the same format. Again, you can actually just add the watch by using a AI model, kind of if I just show you in here, just between the HTTP and the webhooks in here, between these things, between these things, you can just add a AI model, and you can just set the AI model that's my YouTube URL will be always just give the YouTube URL in that format, in that specific format, kind of you can just give that URL, and then it will just work. Whatever URL it will get, it will just try to just make this in that format. So it will be easier for that in this case. If you want to just make that a very broad kind of tool for everyone to use without any kind of issue, so that would be a great idea for that. So yeah, again I'm just going with a new URL. Again I'm just copying this, grabbing the thing, and make sure I'm just fetching the tool again, so that it will actually show the update things yeah, as it is. So I'm just giving this, I'm just going with get thumbnails, and my friends, as you can see, all the thumbnails in here, which is super good. I can just add more things if I need it. So yeah, I hope this video helped you. If you're new in this channel, make sure to give a like and subscribe to the channel. Inshallah, you will find more values in the future, especially on AI agents and technological things. And yeah, see you soon with a new video. Peace out.